I am back from Hawaii. Let's see. Okay, good. My Wi-Fi is on. Don't want to have a disconnection like last time. Hey, girl. All right, so you guys, I'm going to jump right into it as per usual. I'm going to share how I ended up in Hawaii. Hey, guys. Hey, people. I just got back. When did I get back? Hey, guys. Hey, hi, Christian. Hi. I got back last week and it was amazing. God worked out this, I don't know, it was all him. Hi, Carla the Risa. Hi, Candace. So God worked it out where I was able to go to Hawaii for like a week with my sisters, and it was amazing. So amazing and refreshing, and yeah, so much. Oh wow, I got a question already. So this live is gonna be how I ended up in Hawaii. I got a question: what is your favorite book in the Bible? I would say it's kind of hard. I mean, I like the story of Esther, of course, queen things. But also I love Ephesians, adorned in armor, putting on the full armor of God. But yeah, let's get started. Hey people. So I'm going to be sharing the story how I ended up in Hawaii, as it's called right up there. I will also be sharing my live journal entry because that's why we're here. I hope I remember everything. Honestly, it has been such a blur. It's actually crazy. So, Sherm, Abby, I know Medj isn't here, but if I forget something, just put it down, or yeah, whatever. If it's not meant to be in it, it's just not meant to be. But you guys, it was real. Even getting to this point was real. First of all, let's talk about this. So I'm not in Hawaii anymore, but I had to wear my Hawaii merch. It says in the back too, but no, it's okay. You won't see it because of my hair. Hey guys. All right, so where to begin? All right, so it's so funny. I have to shake my head when thinking about it because it was just so hectic and weird how just things just kept on like popping up. It didn't make sense at all. But it started out in April, I think, and I was having a conversation with my best friend. I know, it's a blur. I was having a conversation with my best friend, Melissa, and I was just like, what do you want to do for your birthday this year? Like, do you have any ideas? And she was like, I don't really know. And then I was just like, you know what? I'll do something. And then she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, like inwardly, I was planning on doing something for your 30th, which is years later. But she was just like, no, but I was like, but let's do something now. Let's do something. And she was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And I'm like, yeah, I got you, girl. So I just knew like we had to leave the country, period, you guys. So immediately I started looking at, wow, got my water though this time. Okay, hold on. Water break. Hey people. Where was I? Oh, so I immediately began to look at like a list of like islands I wanted to go through because I'm an island girl. So of course I want to like be in the Caribbean and just like be in that space. I always wanted to go to Hawaii, but I didn't. Why didn't I pursue it right away? I think I did, but I was just like, no, like maybe we could do that like some other time. Yeah, I think that's what it was. And immediately though, like right after I talked to her, I talked to my sisters. Of course, like Medj was down, but I also went to talk to Sherm and Abs, and this was primarily because they graduated. Well, they weren't graduates at the time, but they were like on their way, and so I knew this was their opportunity as well to get out of here. So I'm like, okay, you guys, like you guys wanted to travel, so where are we going? And so like we're like brainstorming and stuff like that, and I came up with Jamaica, and this was before everybody was traveling there, so that was so funny. Like before, like when the trip was booked, I saw like everybody's trip like coming up. I'm just like, oh my gosh, everybody's in Jamaica. But yeah, okay, let me rewind though. So we're like looking up Jamaican things, and like they're looking up things like things to do over there. And so like we were going to do like rafting, we were going to like ride the horses in the water, and what else? What else were we going to do? I don't really remember. But I also like found this amazing luxury resort online, and then I realized that one of my girls went there just last year, so I was like reaching out to her and we were talking about it, and I was just like, yeah, like this is the place that we're going to go. And it was pricey, but it was worth it because there was like a butler and everything. It was just amazing. I even ended up reaching out to like one of the people that do like they do adventures over there on the island, and I got a collaboration with them. So I was like, oh, perfect. Like now we don't even have to like pay. I just have to like put out this sponsored post, and yeah, this would be great content. So I was I was excited, but I was still hesitant because it's just so weird traveling during COVID. So like I've traveled through like by car, but I haven't been on a plane since like my book launch and stuff like that, and the press tour for that. So it was, hi guys. So it was really weird because I felt like my life wasn't in my hands. Well, not in God's hands. No. I felt like people had control over where I could go because of, what are those maps? Like, the COVID maps, and just saying like, okay, it's really bad over here. Don't come. Hi, Tosh. Like, don't come over here. You got to get your test done. And if you don't get your test, like if you don't, how can I explain it? I guess I was a bit overwhelmed because I'm like, bruh, it's 5 of us. All of us need to have a test that says like, like we're not, well, COVID negative, right? Yeah, that we don't have COVID in order to enter into the island. And so that was overwhelming in itself. And like we had to like apply to enter into the country. But I realized something. I was like, hold up. I'm the type of girl who is not trying to be beat at all. So, hey, I'm not trying to be beat. And so I hit up my friend. I was like, do you have a passport? And mind you, not even just her, but like my other girl too. As I was like, girl, do you have your passport? And turns out, well, first of all, like my friend, she had like the passport card and the passport, but there was just something that happened with that where we couldn't find it. But my friend, she didn't have her passport. So it was crazy. So now we have to like hustle and bustle to get the passports. And I was just like, oh, it's gonna be fine though, because like my grandma had to get her passport too. LOL, the eyes. Yes, girl. Exactly, that passport did not exist, and sis was trying to be out of the country. I'm like, how without a passport? It was hilarious. But praise God, she was able to get it. LOL. It's okay, outing you with love and appreciation because we still went, and it's part of the story. So it was hilarious. It was that process of like waiting. I'm like, okay, it's gonna come this week in Jesus' name, and just believing in it. And yeah, it was real. It was real. But we realized probably like the week of that we couldn't get to Jamaica because not everyone had their passports. So it just didn't make any sense because like during the whole process, there were so many things Shervin said would have held her at the terminal. That would have been crazy. Imagine like we got to the end where it's just like, wait, where's your passport? And she's just like, oh, snap. That would be hilarious. Well, no, it wouldn't be. Because we would have just been like, all right, guys, we're not going. That would have been so sad. But again, so this was like a surprise for my best friend too. And to celebrate their graduations and to just celebrate life. So my best friend didn't have an idea about where we were going. She didn't know that anybody else was going. She just thought it was like me and her. And yeah, like it was like that week of we're just like, all right, we can't just rely on the passports. Let's find another option. And Hawaii came up again, but Abby did get her passport. Just not everybody had it. again, but it didn't even make sense because like my grandma, we went to go get her passport done and she was able to get hers in like 2 weeks. Like we expedited it. We did everything that we had to do, but like it just didn't make sense, honestly. And I'm not even going to go too into detail, but when I tell you, just so many things popped up. Like it was like the passport thing, even with doing the necessary things that we had to do. And guys, if you could remind me too, like what else popped up. It was the COVID test, like when we went to go get tested, because at that point, because to enter into another island, country, whatever, you had to have a COVID test like 3 days prior. And we went to go get it done. Turns out not everybody had their insurance on them. And I was just like, whoo. It was just crazy. Like so many things that would like pop up. And it was like, it just didn't make sense, guys. To the point where it's like, oh, I already struggle with feeling like, oh my gosh, like of course like God's gonna have his way, but it's like, can anything go right like without a hitch? Like can we just like, can anything I do just happen and it's like nothing to worry about, no like extra thought or burden on my mind, like, you know, just like, oh Jesus, are you about to do this, like, you know what I mean? So that's how I felt during that process. And so we did the COVID test and it was hilarious. That was my first COVID test ever. It was all up in my nose and I had tears streaming down my face. I just, it was hilarious. It's too much. And we got home and another thing popped up. Again, I don't remember what thing happened at what time anymore because it's just like, you know, but yes, I was crying with that COVID test. It was like that meme. I forgot what meme. Was that the SpongeBob meme? I don't know. But yeah, so that happened, right? And then what happened? You guys, that's my dad walking upstairs. Like, all those hearts now. Yeah, if you hear those, like that creaking and stuff, he's like preparing us dinner and stuff. But okay, so we got our results. Well, some of us got our results. And then we were at the point where we still didn't even know where we were going anymore. I just hurried up because I was like, I'm getting my refund. I canceled our flights to Jamaica. I canceled our reservations. And what was such a blessing though, like what I appreciated about God was like, the day after I canceled like our flight, I got a phone call from like the adventure program company that I would have been like collaborating with, and they called me to let me know that the island was closed on the days that we were coming, so we wouldn't have been able to do those adventure things anyway. So I was just like, oh, okay, we're not missing out, teehee, like, you know. So I mean, I don't have FOMO, but it was just nice that God did that, so that was really sweet. Hey Madge, let me know if I'm missing anything. I'm basically sharing the story of the things that popped up and that didn't make sense when we were on our way to Hawaii, before we even knew we were going to Hawaii. And then after that, you guys, it was just such a journey of just trying to figure out, like, where are we going? And there, like, I had not sleepless nights, but I would wake up and just feel like anxious in a way. And the whole time, like even during the week of where we didn't even know where we were going, I was just like, okay, LOL, child. Yeah, I know. I was just like, okay, God's got this. Because it didn't even feel, literally, it didn't even feel like we weren't supposed to go. Like, I'm the type of person that would just be like, all right, guys, like, it's not working out. Clearly, God just don't want us to go. Med said we were gonna go to Russia. Bubble coats ready. I was not trying to be in no cold. Yeah, you guys. It was crazy, you guys. Seriously. Wait, I lost my place. What was I saying? Let me know what I was saying. I talked about the Jamaica thing, God saying, you know, having that phone call. Oh, okay. Like, I wasn't, like, anxious during the week, but it was, like, the past 2 days, I was just, like, the 2 days prior to leaving, I was just like, where are we going? Because we going somewhere. And I was saying before that I'm not the type, thank you, didn't feel like it was God not telling us to go. Exactly. If I had felt like it was him giving us a sign of just like, it's not meant for you guys to be out. I would have been like, okay, you guys, let's just take this L. We're not going. That's it. But I didn't feel that at all. And it was just crazy too, because it really just felt like the enemy just didn't want us to feel like we could celebrate ourselves. And that's already something that I struggle with, in the sense of just like, something's always got to come up. It's like, why? Like, why can't we just smooth sailing, you know? But yeah, like we prayed against that, and I just went on, because again, I didn't feel like the answer was no. It was just like, we're going somewhere else. And even if it had to be in the States, well, at that point, it had to be in the States. So I was like, okay, well, where's somewhere tropical or islandy in the States that we could go? And I was like, Hawaii. And of course, like, we were down for that. But then we saw the expenses and we're like, oh, yeah, I don't know about that. So like, I started looking into it. And that day, it was so funny. I got on this, I discovered this resort, this luxury resort. And when I discovered it, mind you, I had so many tabs open, and I was fine. Like, I was waking up early, going to bed super, super late. But yeah, I had all these tabs open, and there's this one tab that I came across, and like, my body like literally shook. And I'm not into that spooky stuff, okay, you guys? I'm not even like that. And honestly, because I'm a logical person, I low-key was just like, wait, was that God? Was that, I don't understand, like, what was that? And I was trying to see, well, I'm not cold, so it wasn't like goosebumps, like, you know, just like, I wasn't yawning, so like, there was no reason why my body should have, like, you know, shuddered. I don't even know how it happened, but it wasn't like so obvious, but it was just like a nudge, you know, as to say like, no, this is the place. And I looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And it was actually voted Condé Nast Traveler, like, top places to visit, you know, on vacation. And I was just like, oh God, you're really showing out. But what made me hesitate, like, it was beautiful, so beautiful, but what made me hesitate was the fact that we were trying to go for something more serene. And while they had places like that in the resort, like, where it was surrounded was like the city. And so I was just like, it's giving me Miami, and I'm not trying to do Miami right now, which isn't a problem, but if I wanted to go to Miami, I would go to Miami, you know? But yeah, so I sent it to the group, and then I just carried on with just saying like, okay guys, like, let's look for other places or something like that. And so we're looking, and now we're going into the Virgin Islands. Like, literally, we're just trying to look into the territories that the U.S., you know, has. And so we're just like, just trying to find something. And it wasn't like a stressful anxiety, like we have to find something or our day is ruined. Like, it wasn't that. Like, we were still like cracking jokes. It was quite funny that we didn't know where we were going, but we just knew that we were going somewhere. But what kept me going was the fact that I felt that shudder. So, what kept me going was the fact that I felt that shudder. Exactly. If it was a U.S. territory, we were on it. Like, we checked everything, you guys. And then, like, we got to a point where, like, honestly, we just kept going to Hawaii. And then I was just like, okay, you know what? This is going to be the place. Let me look up these tickets. And you guys, those flight tickets, they were just going up and up, up. Like, literally just up, up, up. Like, everybody was trying to be out. So it was crazy. And I was excited to like book it, but like, I talked to my mom and she was just like, oh, that much? And I was just like, you're right. So immediately I was just like second guessing myself, but it just like in the back of my head, I was just like, but my body, like, I felt like I got a nudge. Like, this was the place that we were supposed to go. Hey, Maddie. Hey, girl. Hearts. Hey, Janye. Hey, girl. And so I was just like, I don't know, like, even though like it is pricey, I was just like, I still feel like this is the place that we're supposed to be. And yeah, I was just like, you know what? I'm going to put this stuff away because I need to focus on the work that I actually have to do today. And so I put it aside, and the girls were just like, okay, like we're gonna look at other places. I did whatever I had to do. I came back, and I went live that day. That's the day I did the Haitian, falling in love with my Haitian heritage live, and I had like horrible connection. It was so sad. But it's still up though, because I showed up. Yeah, you guys, it was real. And like, I just felt so like, it's not that I felt pressure, but it was just like, I don't understand, why is there so much resistance and trying to book the ticket? Like, you guys, yes, like my sister had a whole wedding to go to like the day prior to our trip. And so like, as I was searching, she was at the wedding. I'm just like, I need help. And it was so funny though, because I couldn't talk to my sister about that, really. Like, you know, about confirmation. The resistance was baffling, yes. And I couldn't really go to my best friend because she didn't know anything about it. But it was funny because I knew this was something that God was testing me in, just like trusting in what he said the first time. And I don't have a problem with that. It's just more so just like, okay, God, like you told me, well, you showed me that this is a place that we should go. Then why is there so much pushback? Like, literally, guys, I tried to book that ticket that night and it wasn't happening, to the point where it was it 1 o'clock in the morning where we just started looking for Miami? Like, we were looking for Miami places at that point, because I was just like, it doesn't make sense. Nothing's working out. And I just kept going back to that shutter though. And I texted my sister. I was like, you know what? I really feel like this is a place that we're supposed to go though. So, LOL. Yeah, at the end of the day, we were getting on a plane. Priceless said, it really did. I really did. Yes, it was 2 o'clock in the morning where we were just like, you know what? Let's look at Miami. And honestly, I wanted to be somewhere closer at that point, because I was like, at this point, are they gonna let us in? Wherever we go, like, is Hawaii gonna let us in? Exactly. Oh man, it didn't make sense. Yeah, exactly. Our suitcase weren't even packed. Well, mine was, but it needs to be like organized. But you guys should have seen my house that day. So it was just a whole bunch of suitcases open and us just putting our stuff in. Mind you, we still didn't even know where we were going. So it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, looking up Miami places. I was like, you know what? No, this is not where we're going. We're going to Hawaii. And hours passed and we're trying to book it on our cards. It's not letting us, because apparently there's a limit to spending. What was the limit? $2,000 on your card or something, or your debit card. I was like, it's not credit. Like, it's not, I'm confused. I was like, why can't we spend it? Like, it didn't even make sense. I know I keep saying that, but it just really didn't. As I said, it was very unbelievable. Exactly. Meg fell asleep after me and Abby tried to, like, you know, book the trip too. Everybody fell asleep and I was up. Yeah, Sherm would be in and out with me. Yeah. Wells Fargo entered the chat. Yeah, Meg was in Knox, sleeping in peace. You really were. We just knew we were going somewhere, and yeah, it was okay. We got to a point, and I'm almost at like the journal part, you guys. We got to a point. Well, everybody was knocked out. Sherman would be in and out, and like in a way, like giving me moral support. Well, first of all, I have to say shout out to my brother, because he was the one encouraging me, just like this whole process, like the whole week of just like, you're gonna go, it's okay. And I'm just like, I don't know. I just, like, I know, but I don't know. Like, what is going on? And you guys, it was maybe 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:30, where I finally, LOL, yeah, you weren't done packing. Well, I finally got on the call with, who did we book with? Not JetBlue. It was not United. I don't know why that matters. Oopsie. So I really gotta take that off. I have like the timer for Instagram. Yeah, we were on Delta. You guys, I was on hold with them for over 6 hours. I finally got on a call with them at 7 a.m. And to book a flight that was like, what, at 9? At 9, at 10? I don't even remember, but it was bananas. And I'm just like, I'm so tired. I was so tired, but thank God I found a rep that was so kind and she helped me book the trip. And when I tell you the hustle and bustle that we had to do, like, I was like, all right, guys, wake up. Like, we have to be out now, like, because our flight's at this time. And so we finally started to, I mean, we believed it, but we had proof now. Well, I guess like tangible evidence that we were going to Hawaii. So that's how that happened, you guys. The day of, we discovered that we were going to Hawaii. So while I held it as a surprise for my best friend, it was a surprise to all of us as well. So it was crazy. Med said under eyes had luggage. It was, oh my gosh. It was ridiculous. But yeah, we ended up going there. And even as we were preparing, I had like some form of relief. I was just like, okay, yay. Like we're on our way. But I was still a bit shook. Yeah, booked at 7:30 for an 11 a.m. flight. It was crazy. You guys, we all packed my dad's car. My brother brought us to the airport to JFK, New York. And Sharon said my verse of the week, we will make our plans, but God will order our steps. For sure. Yeah, exactly. So let me get to the end of it. You guys, even in that car with our luggage in there, it was hitting me, but not quite, because I was like, there's still other obstacles that we have to go over in order to even enter the country. We're all in the car now, and now we have to put in the application process to get into Hawaii. And at that point, I'm also booking our reservation for the resort. So I'm over here just typing away, clitter clatter, and just trying to just book everything. And so I don't like last minute things. I don't at all. Last minute trips, sure. I don't mind that. And it's something that I was accustomed to when I was freelancing, like with Teen Vogue or just doing stuff with my brand. I was able to just be up and be out, like, and it was freeing because I didn't have to pay for it. It was great. But I realized what the issues were, and I'll share that with you guys through my journal. So this was my journal entry for May 23rd. It is June 3rd? Yeah, so 10 days later. And I'm just like, good morning, Jesus. So mind you, oh wait, should I share that part or maybe? No, I'll read it, and then like if I have to, I'll get into that part. Yeah. So I'm like, good morning, Jesus. I'm writing to you around 6:30 a.m. in Hawaii. Yes, Hawaii. Thank you for bringing me here. Thank you for nudging me about this luxurious Condé Nast Traveler Reader's Choice Top 3 Hawaii Resort. I wish I listened to you sooner when you showed me that Thursday morning. I looked into it some more, loved the aesthetic, but moved on because I was looking for something else. Something more quiet, serene. When I read there were a lot of people, I was just like, no thanks. And when I showed the group, I told them it was giving me Miami vibes, and they agreed. It wasn't the feel we were going for. Wait, I'm not gonna read that part, actually. Yeah, oh yeah. One thing that I kept doing, and now it's a common practice for me, was saying, I don't know what to do, but my eyes are on you. And I forgot what chapter that was in the Bible, but that was the first thing that left my mouth, and I kept on repeating it. And yeah, it was helping me. I didn't want to move ahead of you, and even in my endless okay. Yeah. Dehydration. Don't do it, folks. Okay. I didn't want to move ahead of you, and even in my endless search, before you showed me where to go, I didn't feel you were saying it wasn't meant to be. This all didn't feel forced. This was just so much, there was just so much resistance, as I shared, that it didn't even make sense. From the delayed expedited passport to COVID testing blips, to finding the place and then actually trying to book the flight. I waited up all night to get on a call with a Delta rep. Like, huh? So after cards being declined because of daily limits and an all-nighter, right? We were set to go, but things kind of felt up in the air for me. But before I go into that, let's talk about how the group and I searched places in Hawaii, then Virgin Islands, then I went back to Hawaii, saw the prices and was just going to do it, but I got discouraged because I was just like, reminded that, this is rather really expensive. And it was something that I already knew, but it deterred me. So I put down my laptop and, I was just like, I'm just going to get prepared for the day to do whatever else I have to do. Fast forward to that night and the flights are being booked at rapid pace. The timing is off. Some of my peeps have work and I'm just trying to adhere to everybody's like schedules and the prices are just going up. So I keep recalling the moment you nudged me. I wasn't cold. I wasn't yawning. I didn't get goosebumps. I came across the resort and my body like moved, like shuddered involuntarily. I kept asking you what for throughout the day. Like that I just really wanted like confirmation. Especially when I tried to go by that instruction and nothing was working. I realized that part of my hesitation was just that mindset of like living within my means and feeling like the more money I spend, the less secure I will be. So yeah, you guys, I am a saver and I just steward my coins very well. And yeah, to make such a large expense for that was just difficult for me. And I'll go into that. Mind you, I've done that for like pageantry and stuff, but in a way it didn't feel like it was for me. Yeah, but okay, I'll get into that, right? Yeah, exclamation marks. But also it didn't take much to, okay. Guys, it doesn't take much for me to like enjoy myself. I wouldn't say I'm easily entertained, but Medj, she's hilarious, so she's my entertainment too. And my sisters, my siblings are just like, yeah, they're hilarious, and I'm a chill person. I understand. Let me just read it. Okay. It doesn't take much to make me happy. Yes, I'm high maintenance. I enjoy luxury. That's okay, you guys. But I'm also chill. And, there's a balance. So all my years of traveling, for the most part, they were like covered. They were sponsored. And so I realized that it was for free. I realized that this would be my most expensive purchase for myself. I've had expensive purchases for my business, for pageantry endeavors, but this would be the first expensive thing for me. And that was my issue. And it was crazy because as I was writing that, I was like, wow, I just realized why it was an issue, because it was for me. Also, I was like, people are with me and I'm just considering budgets, but ultimately I didn't see why it would be worth it to spend all that just to enjoy myself when we're so accustomed to like, we can have fun no matter where we are in the world. We can have fun right at home. So it's like, do I really have to spend this much to enjoy myself? So I was just writing like, I've done it in more budget-friendly ways. Like I've been doing so, but I couldn't deny the shaking. And that's honestly why I kept searching. And even when the flight was booked, I felt up in the air because part of me felt like we wouldn't be let in on the island. That something would go wrong. And I felt this as someone who was sleep deprived, you guys, packed in the car with my sisters and fulfilling Hawaii's entry application and booking the resort. But we got to New York City in our cute coordinated looks. We landed in Seattle. Oh, by the way, you guys, the vlog will be up like next week or maybe this weekend. We'll see. We touched Hawaii soil and you let us in. At one point early on, Mej was just like, yo, shout out to you for searching. Like, you really never gave up. And just staying up and something like we made it. Like, we made it, right? And that was before we even got on the island. And it just happened like at different points of the trip. And, I could see they were awaiting my response as well. And I was just like, I wasn't trying to be like doubtful or anything, but I was just like, I'll believe it when we're there. Yeah, just because it still felt like, I don't know. I really don't know. And I don't want to discourage them. So I was like, let me keep it inwardly because, I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it. And I'm typically not like that, but there's layers. There's layers to that. As we were waiting on, what is that? Oh, as we were waiting on that line to be allowed entry, and even as we were landing, I was thinking, would God really let us travel all this way, New York to Hawaii, to send us back? Mitch, that emoji gets me every time. But literally, that was my question. Would God really let us come all this way to send us back? And my answer was, yeah, he would. Abby said we were quiet on that line. Yes, we were. Yes, we were. So yeah, I was just thinking, yeah. Because I'm talking to God in my journal, because you give hard lessons and sometimes we don't understand why. But I also realize, I hear Sherman laughing upstairs. Best believe I'm busting through TSA. Meg said I was ready to flag football my way. When we got in, I realized that my thoughts were coming from a place where I felt like God wasn't taking care of me. That I wasn't seeing God as my father. And if you guys have watched my testimony, I share that, I went from seeing him as a judge, like my faith was religion, honestly, because it was more so, like I knew he loved me, but I didn't really feel it. It was like more so head knowledge, and it was because it was based off of fear-based faith. So I realized in my thinking that way, it was seeing God as God, I don't know, just being like rough on me. It wasn't God being the loving father. You weren't that in my heart, but thank you for revealing that you are. So yeah, that was my entry. And yeah, I have a little bit more to share, but I just definitely want to stop there at that point. Should I get it? Maybe I'll share that some other time, but I was just reading a devotional about just truly learning the traits of God, so that you could easily be like, that's not his nature. If you feel like, if you're thinking something negative, or you have like, I don't know, just understanding his nature in order to understand his love for you, is just so, so important. And yeah, you guys, and then I had like a post-trip journal entry, and then we'll head out. I'll say bye. Yeah, so I said, so after about a week in Hawaii, I'm back home. Yes, you guys. His ways are higher than ours. Yup. I hope I'm not missing anything. But yeah, okay, let's get back to this. So after about a week in Hawaii, I'm back home and I'm relieved. It was a great amount of time to enjoy ourselves, and now it's time to get to work. And to post. So even with that, oh my gosh, you guys, I didn't even share stuff about that. Like, my brother sent me a nice little text, so sweet, just letting me know, like, this trip isn't for Adorned in Armor. It is for Tarah-Lynn. So, no work allowed. And so I took that as also no posting. So I only had like, I did post, but like rarely. I would go with my phone. It was funny. I let it die, and it was nice to like just move without even knowing where you're going to go that day, or just chilling, just hanging out, and just being detached from social media, and yeah, just the work that I do, because as much as I love it, it does get overwhelming at times. So yeah, even the parts like thinking about posting was low-key giving me anxiety, because I'm like, oh my gosh, initially when we were going to go to Jamaica, it was only 3 days, and that was fine, because I was like, okay, outfits, calculations, but we're here way longer. There's so much content. When am I gonna post everything? I have other announcements. What am I gonna do? But literally, I just had to like take my time and just take a step back. Yeah. Yeah, I'm reading this before I like see which parts to share. Um, okay. Um, okay, I'll share this part. I mentioned while I was speaking to God, I was like, Father, in landing in Hawaii, you taught me a few things immediately. One, my graduation in life means no second guessing the way you speak to me, or the way He gives me a sign. I have always been aware of how I get a sign or a nudging, or I feel like God is saying something for me to do. Um, and when I call it, like, I'm saying this is my graduation season because this is a season where we are being elevated. It's a level up. And so, like, I had my sisters who, like, literally graduated college and stuff. And for me, I was just like, I'm graduating in life, period. My sister got a new job. Yeah, exactly. And it was just so many new beginnings, and there's just also new things required of us. And so when I say this, I'm sharing this as my journal entry, but this applies to everybody. Like, stop second guessing the way God speaks to you, especially even in times of pushback. Number 2, confirmation comes from you. So, of course, like, He's gonna use people sometimes, right? And I love that. Wait till you guys hear that testimony. But I mentioned, sure, you give confirmation when needed. But, like, that whole trip, well, before the trip, I just kept asking, like, God, is this it? Is this it? And He was just like, I ain't telling you nothing. Because you heard me. You felt me that first time, right? But my test was to just move and book the flight and resort, even if it looked unwise in some people's eyes. It wasn't what I was looking for, but it was something like God knew that I needed. Another lesson, I am worth it, and you truly have the best of the best for me. That's part of what my last post was about. I love traveling, you guys. It seriously just makes me happy. It is when I feel my most freest self, honestly. And I really thought I would have cried just getting upon that plane. But I think with all that went on, I was just like, I don't got it in me. Let's see if we can make it in, like, but yeah, just understanding that God trusts me as well with how I steward everything that I have, not only just money. So when it comes to the point where it's like, spend this on yourself, trust that it's coming back. Like, of course, like, I know it in my head, but also to, like, understand, like, God's got you, period. You don't have, like, a lack of security just because, That's good, Medj. Steward the joy. That's good. That's what I need to do. Steward the joy. Because, yeah. And I was just talking about that, like, in my quiet time. Well, just, like, resting, like, on my pillow last night. It's just, like, I want to be aware of my moments of just, like, living and, like, just genuinely feeling that joy. Not just when I'm traveling or when I get away, but, like, every day. Yeah. Exactly. And it's funny, too, because I wrote about that. Trusting that is coming back and He gives good gifts. But it's another thing to experience it, especially on different levels. Especially, like, I know I'm going to get older. Well, duh. But, like, the expenses are going to get higher and higher as well. But I could trust that. Trust myself as well. Just knowing, like, I'm not a wasteful person. And I am worthy of the expensive things. That it's not just money that should be going to my business and my ministry, but me too. And so that's also just funny how, we're on this journey of, my life journal and getting to know myself on a different level and really experiencing the work that He has done in me, because it has been a process for sure. That trip was amazing. So many divine encounters. Yeah. James 1:17, every good and perfect gift is from above. Yes, it is. And that was an amazing gift. amazing. Hey, Amanda. Medj, yes, it was worth the cost. It really was. Like, honestly, it was so worth it. Like, I'm the type of person, oh, that's another story. But I just believe in the best of the best, right? And God has me on a journey of believing that he will do that for me in every single aspect. And I just desire for everybody else to experience that as well and to know that he is taking care of us. Well worth the trip. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. It was it also, another thing was realizing that it really is like people's dream destination. Like, I don't think like we really realized that until like the end of the trip. Because there's just like we were coming home and people were like, they saw, oh, I have my lei, but it's dead. People saw our leis and like my Hawaii tea, and they were just like, you guys were in Hawaii? And because we had like layovers and stuff like that. And like we really realized, wait, hold on, that it is like a place that people, like it's a dream destination. And of course we've always wanted to go, but it didn't really hit us that, yo, God really did that. Yeah, God really did that. Every single day we were just like, whoa, we're really here. Whoa. So I think it'll officially hit when I'm done editing. Medj said, live flowers, come on, dry bones. Yes. It'll hit when I'm done editing the video, the vlog. So amazing. And yeah, when I get into my announcements that are coming up the following week, so mid-June. So yeah, you guys, that's it. That's how I ended up in Hawaii. I knew I had to come on and do this rattle. I had to come on and do this. I actually wanted to do it while I was in Hawaii because it's so funny how God always works things out for me when it comes, especially when it comes to like traveling and stuff. Like on my, what birthday was that? 2 years ago, like I went to Mexico and that was like all expense paid too. So, and I did like a live journal. No, it wasn't live. It was just like a recording where I was just there in a cabana. And I was just talking about like, you know, how I got here. So I wanted to do that in Hawaii, but my best friend was just like, Tara, rest. So I did. We thank God. And I'm here now. And yeah, you guys, it was awesome. It was great content and just, yeah, I'm grateful. Thank you guys for joining. I will be, yes, rest we did. I will be uploading this also to my Instagram and then, yeah, YouTube as well. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Until next time, I'll see you guys. Bye. Well, aloha. Well, no, I should have started the thing with aloha. But wait, did we learn how to say bye over there? I don't think I remember. But I will say mahalo for watching. Ha ha ha. Mahalo. See you guys. Bye, bye, bye. See ya.